What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Us Play Ogre Battle 64. So, since last time, I restocked all my dudes on items, and I bought Gilbert a Whip of Exorcism. And other than that, the only other thing I really wanted to point out was that a couple episodes ago, I equipped Troy with the Freud Helm. I got that a while ago at this point, but it's a pretty good fit for him because it increases your mentality in particular, and Troy kind of lacks in that department. So yeah, other than that, all I really want to do is head over to Romulus. Now this mission is kind of interesting in that the name for this scene actually depends on earlier events. It can either be called Betrayal or Separate Ways. In this case, because of the scene path that I have taken, it is called Betrayal. Expect the worst, huh? So what, they're dead? I'm not sure what's so significant about Fort Romulus, but apparently we're going to be assaulting it. It's a pretty small map. Lobini. When have I ever tried to avoid enemies? Man, Magnus, why do you gotta be such a decent guy? Just kill everyone. Jeez. I wonder where the shop is in this map. Maybe there isn't one. I think there's a shop in every map. Oh, it is at home. I thought when they showed the headquarters that there wasn't a little shop icon, but I guess I was incorrect. Boulderhelm. Felchion. That's actually terrible. Some Manus. This is a good place to buy a bunch of Some Manus, but I don't think I actually have any sword users that don't already have that or better. Boulder Shield. So there's actually nothing to buy here. That's disappointing. One interesting thing to note about the Zenobians is that I believe that they actually gain extra like unity if they're all placed in the same unit. Because like normally, if you use a unit with the same characters for over a long period of time, they get slightly better at working with each other. But I believe the Zenobians get that bonus kind of by default. Okay, so first things first, I'm just going to charge straight out with Feedatch. My kind of goal is I want to be able to... Oh geez, okay, let's send Feedatch and someone else. Someone lawful. Yeah, sure. Bury him. That really is a lot of dudes. I hope to be able to get a glimpse of the leader here in Fort Romulus. With all the dudes coming in, that may not end up being the case. I should probably just be sitting at home, but that's just isn't the way it is. Let's send Destin after this dude. I'm trying to be a little bit aggressive just to make this map go kind of quickly, but I don't want to be careless. Let's see what you got, Destin. 71, that is pretty darn good. And Gilbert just kind of sucks. Unfortunately, Beastmasters, even if they are legendary Zenobian warriors, are not the best at physical damage. But it just feels right to have him in this unit. He's gotta stick with his bros, yo. Yeah, 35 is kind of bad. Of course, it doesn't help that whips are a pretty rare weapon, so he's kind of stuck with a terrible whip right now, but even with a better whip, he would not do that great. But that's okay. This unit is exceptionally good now, nonetheless. Destin is a freaking beast. Okay, now let us grab Aqua, send her over this way, and then up towards the leaderless fellow, which is, I believe, Gauche. Gauche? Gauche! And Destin might as well continue walking over this way. What's this dude looking like? Hawkman and a Griffin. Let's give Tyler a chance to get some action. What I call my specialty units, my Cerberuses and my dragons have been very neglected over the past few maps. They're a couple levels behind everyone. At this point, both of those units are kind of past their prime, so I'm not really going to be using them all that much, but if I do get a chance, I do think it's worthwhile to at least keep them close to current level. So that even if they're not particularly good at slaughtering everything in their path, they can at least do enough damage to win fights. Because it doesn't do much good to leave them sitting on a stronghold if they're just going to die and lose the fight. I should actually probably transfer the Manual of Warfare over to one of them. Preparing for combat. That is a lot of, well, Valkyries and Freyas. Jeez, 134, and that wasn't even Fidach. Greatsword users in general are just so good. I mean, you get so many really powerful two-handed swords that's just... By this point in the game, they're just so good. Dragoons especially. And it's only going to get better. I mean, it's not going to go up by leaps and bounds like it has recently, but... I mean, obviously we're going to get better weapons yet, so... Jeez, we almost took out all of them. Why are you so good, Fidach? I'm itching for action. This is actually a pretty terrible unit, now that I think about it. Hawkmen and a Griffin by Chapter 4? That's just, like, ridiculously bad. And yet, Tyler is not even capable of taking them out in 2 full rounds of combat. But that's not that surprising. He is behind, after all. Oh, nice. I guess that must be like the edge of the map, so I am kind of squeezing him up against it. That works for me. The one nice thing about this unit, or these types of units is always that they level up quickly, only having 3 people to spread experience between. Let's see. You've earned yourself a break. What's this unit looking like? Yeah, sure. Let's give Mylene a shot. Meanwhile, let us get the rest of the crew up over here. Pause real quick. Orwell. And Europia. And I might as well bring Margaret too. Now that I've transferred the figurine of Sleipnir over to my Seraphs, unfortunately my Freyas are not going to get the same amount of time as previously, because the big advantage previously was their speed, but not having that, they're just a fairly average unit now. Sometimes I just imagine what it's like being one of these guys facing this dragon unit. Like, they're pretty much literally like punching a dragon in the face. That's gotta be a daunting task. Then there's the fairies just using magic missile for 8 damage. I was gonna use a Pedra, but I was a little slow on the uptake there. Well, we got their leaders, so that's something. Might as well keep on going. Divine Ray, we can probably wipe them out, no problem. In fact, let us do this. I've arrived at the destination. Oh, I was kind of hoping I would have Mylene on the side without all of the bad guys, but I'm kind of like facing them backwards, so I mistakenly compensated where I should not have. One damage. I suppose that's to be expected when you have a fairy using magic missile on a Bahamut. 100 experience. Good lord. It's too bad that wasn't more evenly distributed between multiple battles. But that's okay. Now let's fix our formation, because if I don't, then I'm going to forget. Take you out. Real quick like. Banish! And Seraph. There we go. All 5 Seraphs. That's more like it. Holy Comet. Speaking of better whips, let's see if I can sneak around and get a peek at the enemy's headquarters there. Oh hey, I found a dowsing rod? Well, that's useless. Wait, did I encounter this unit sideways? I wasn't paying attention, but like, it looks like their unit is turned sideways. Either that or it's just terrible. Not that that would be surprising, I mean most enemy units are terrible. the funny thing about goblins is a big part of the reason why they're always so bad is because they're almost always using short swords, which of course is the lowest level sword in the game. I mean, if it wasn't for that, they would actually... Well, no, they actually wouldn't be good, but they would be not terrible anyways. I mean, a goblin with a high level sword can still at least do some damage. Gotta start taking a little bit of care to continue using this guy, Mr. Leader Paladin, bury him. His health is getting a little low. Although really, if I take out that Paladin, which I just did, then this particular unit should not pose any threat to me any longer. In fact, it seems like it's a pretty dead unit. So that worked. Okay, let's move you back a step, and sure, let's give let's give Destin a little more face time. Or Pidach, I guess that works too. Wow, goblins and ninjas. That reminds me, I don't think I've ever replaced Vad's weapon. I hope I get a new claw weapon for him soon. I've been hoping that for a long time, in fact. I would say let's use a Pedra, but everything is like one shot away from dying, so chances are it would just get wasted. Okay. Now that's normally where I would leave it, but okay, Destin, you stay put. You know what? Let's just leave it there anyways. So, yeah. I will catch you on the next episode of Let's Play Ogre Battle 64. Catch you later.